This is part 3B for my Playbill collection of Raúl Esparza. And to start with is Twelfth Night, the Shakespearean play done by the public, and also starred Audra McDonald and Anne Hathaway. This one is really hard to find. I rarely see this one. It took me forever to find this one, and I'm glad that I did. Next is the Babalu program with Lucy Arnaz and Desi Arnaz Jr., and they did songs from their father, Desi Arnaz, and they performed with Raúl, and they did songs, Cuban songs, and mostly the songs were in Spanish. That's pretty cool. I really don't see this one a lot, so I'm glad that I picked it up when I did. Here is Anyone Can Whistle, and here's the inside. This one pops up a lot, so get it when you can. Here is Broadway Backwards 5 at the Vivian Beaumont. This one is the Stephen Sondheim birthday celebration, and it has like all kinds of cool performers: B.D. Wong, Chip Zien, Nathan Lane, Michael Cerveris, and plenty of other cool people. This one was one of the hardest ones to get. This is the LA version of Leap of Faith. It took me forever to get this one because originally, whenever it always popped up on eBay, and it was always like $230, and that's way, way, way too much money for a playbill. And I don't know why. Luckily, a friend got it for me at a very cheap price. The funny thing is I asked for the same cheap price, and he asked for double that. So I don't know. I really love this one because it has like behind the scenes photos with Alan Menken and of course Raúl, with Brooke Shields and Keisha, and then there's Kendra Kassenbaum, who played his sister, and then there's Leslie Odom Jr., who went on to win a Tony for Hamilton a few years later. But yeah, this one was really hard. I don't know why the guy wouldn't sell me at the price that he... But then my friend asked again for the same price, and he sold it to her for that price. I don't know. So weird. But I'm so freaking happy that I got that one. This is the American Songbook that Raúl did at the Lincoln Center. It came with a green sheet. I don't know if it'll appear green on the camera. It's been doing like some weird color things, but okay, it is. And it lists all the songs that he wanted to sing and sung and kicked ass on stage. Oh yeah, there's a thing on the here's the thing on the back if anyone wants to see it. And he did that in 2011. And if I had a time machine, this is one of the ones I really want to see. I wish I could see all of his performances, but you know. Here's the Angela Lansbury and Friends program that he did for Terrence McNally. And here is Arcadia. I have 3 different ones. I have opening night, I have, during the run, and then during the end of the run, because I've been meaning to get end of the run for a while, but every time I see it, it's kind of overpriced. And then I found it for $1 at Broadway Con, so I was very happy. The only thing with it is it's like bent in the corner, but I don't care. It's fine. It's flat and it's happy. Here is when Leap of Faith finally went to Broadway. I have one for April and one for towards the end when it like lasted only 2 weeks. Unfortunately, it was, as everyone probably knows, it was a huge flop. I don't know why. This is one of my most favorite performances that Raúl has ever done as Jonas Nightingale. I don't know what it is with critics and musicals that are based on 90s comedies, and for some reason they hate on it, or they kind of like, because they did that to Groundhog Day too. So I don't know, but Groundhog Day lasted longer. But I wish this one lasted longer. I love his performance, his vulnerability. Like, he can be such an ass, like, especially as Jonas, like, perfection. During Broadway Con, Jordan Roth was there to speak about the St. James Theater history, and they totally skipped over, and I'm like, come on, bro, I know it was a flop. You can talk about it, come on. It's like, oh well. And then here is the Tony Awards for 2012. I don't think Playbill ever did one. It was done by somebody else. It was done by Where. Unless there is a Playbill one, I haven't found it because I would like to have it. But it's still cool to have this one. When Leap of Faith was nominated for Best Musical. And then here Raúl is as Jonas in the red outfit with all the singers, the gospel singers. Of course, it didn't win. This one is the encore off-center production of The Cradle Will Rock. Here is the inside for that, with Danny Burstein and Judy Kuhn, David Margulies, and Michael Park. I will say, if anybody is like looking for these, like especially for like Raúl's or anybody else like that's in these productions, make sure to read the inside, because the front will look the same and they don't mark it which one it is, like on the front. Like I know the Goodman Theater, especially their older playbills, do that. This one you have to actually look inside, and then you'll look inside and see the program. Next one is, it's not necessarily Broadway, but it is kind of important for me to have or to own, is San Diego Comic-Con 2014, when he was there as a special guest for the Hannibal panel. He was there that Thursday, the first day of con, and he was a special guest. That was actually the first time I ever saw him like in person, but at the time, like in 2014, I wasn't a fan. I became a fan of his September 2015. And these are the other things that come with the guide. You have the events guide, which is thick. The quick guide, here we go, and the little newspapers that they had every single day. For some reason, I was thinking he was in like the Thursday or Friday one, because he was a special guest, like the surprise guest, but he wasn't, which is kind of weird because they normally do that. And also, just to show it, the bag, the huge like bags that they give out during con. But yeah, that was so awesome. He was so fun. He was just so amazed. Like everybody was excited for to see him there, and he was like, he was like, but he was smiling and like joking around with everybody else on that panel. So I'm including it with this because it is a collection dedicated to him. Next is Cymbeline, when they did the Free Shakespeare in the Park at Delacorte. This one, for some reason, is super hard to find. I don't know why, especially when it came out in 2015, like a couple years ago, and it's just so hard to find. And it finally popped up, and I just snatched it right away. I just was like, mine, bye. Here is when I first saw Raúl perform in person, and it was the wall-to-wall Stephen Schwartz concert that was like 8 hours long, and he did 3 songs. He did one by himself with like a chorus in the back, and then one with Betsy Wolfe, and he did one, oh yeah, and he did another song by himself. And this one was fun. This one was a free concert, but me and a couple friends paid tickets just to have reserved seats, just to be like up close in there. And I'm so glad I did. And I got this signed personally by Stephen Schwartz. Guy's a total sweetheart. He asked like, oh, what is your name? And I told him like, oh, it's Rose. And he's like, oh, let me personalize. I was like, that is so cool. And he will refer you to your name too, which is totally nice. He didn't have to do that, but he did. He's just such a nice guy. Next up is the Tribeca Film Festival for 2016. That occurred around the same time as the Schwartz concert. It was the day after, and this is when when Raúl's movie premiered, Custody, and it also starred Tony Shalhoub and Viola Davis. Okay movie, but it was fun. This is also the first time I met Raúl. Me and a group of friends were just staying like stage dooring for that, and eventually he came out. And I'll post a picture like right here. We totally lost our minds when I mean, we weren't screaming or anything. We were just like blank stares. I wish I had him sign my Custody ticket, but whatever. And we asked him like, "Hey, you want to take a picture?" And he's like, "Sure." He didn't look like he was in a rush, so he totally did it. But then we all like forgot how to use cell phone cameras, and I don't know how to use them. I use like a throwaway crappy cell phone, and I only have a point and shoot, so that's my knowledge on that. And then my 2 other friends were like, and he's like, oh, I know how to do it, because at first we were trying to hand it off to his friend, and he's like, oh, he doesn't do that. So then he's like, no, I can do it. And he just, like a pro, he got it, and then he's like, because I was kind of standing off to the side, I didn't want to like be too close and like creepy or anything. And he's like, no, squish in, please, I insist. And so we did, and so and he had to, because I'm so short, he had to lean down a little for the picture. He took it, and that's why we're all like starstruck. And he was so nice, so sweet. He signed like people's cards. He signed like a friend's like playbill, something like that. Just the man's a sweetheart and awesome. And then, he went on his way to the Custody after party. Next one is the Joyful Revolution Gala from 2016 that my friend attended and got me an extra playbill or program for it. Here he is. He was one of the performers in it. He sang in it. The cool thing was Natalie Merchant was there. That's why I wanted to be there. I couldn't. I had like dogs and stuff. I was like, two of my favorite performers are the same thing. Just totally cool that my friend did that for me. Thank you, Jen. And last one for this part is the Great Writers Thank Their Lucky Stars playbill. And that was at the Dramatists Guild Fund. And I will say, I didn't attend this, but these guys, I asked them, I just threw a question in the wind because I wasn't sure. The worst I could say is no. I was like, oh, can you send me a playbill, please? And they're like, yeah, sure, we totally have extras. And they sent this to me totally free. I didn't even have to send like a stamp or nothing. And they were totally nice. They totally, I mean, just so nice, and I'm so grateful that companies do this. I understand why some of them can't because it's a cost thing, but they totally did this, and I'm so thankful and grateful that they did this. Thank you so much.